Hi, this is Marcus Giuliano, and I'm the chef and owner of Aroma Thyme Bistro, Hudson Valley's first certified green restaurant located 90 miles north of New York City in the beautiful Hudson Valley. And I haven't made a video in a while. It's been a very, very busy summer here. Of course, this is our high season. And in the summertime, I run a kitchen at a local horseback riding camp, a girls' horseback riding camp that keeps me very, very occupied for 10 weeks. And the owner approached me 7 years ago and said, Marcus, I want organic, healthy food to serve to campers. So that's what I do in the summers. Besides running my own restaurant, I sort of run back and forth and just don't have enough time to really make videos and do stuff like this. However, I have had one of the best summers ever. Both my kids got mountain bikes, my wife got a mountain bike, and we were mountain biking constantly. We've been going to waterfalls, biking to waterfalls and swimming and really doing a lot of outdoor stuff this summer, which was phenomenal. So I have made time for that. That to me is really, really important. I want to talk today about an experience I had years ago, probably 10, 12 years ago, and today's theme is making a happy customer, okay? Now, for years, I'd worked at fine restaurants. I'd worked in Europe. I worked at the Broadmoor in Colorado. I worked at the Greenbrier in West Virginia. You get a lot of satisfaction from serving good food and having customers comment and stick their head in the kitchen, and if it's an open kitchen, walk back and say, hey, great job, and this and that, and the wait staff coming back. And having a happy customer is so important. But what a lot of chefs don't understand is that, we're taught in the hospitality industry, or really a lot of people are taught, everybody's our customer. So is the guy who we buy our food from. So is the farmer. So is the guy who delivers the food. So is the other staff. It's how well you get along with everybody, how you please everybody. And so for a long time I thought pleasing the customer was the most important thing. Then I had a revelation in Colorado where I started using small farms. And I really got in depth one-on-one with farmers. And I started using small independently owned vendors. And where I actually had personal relationships with the owners of these companies and the salespeople, where we became very friendly and had a very good rapport. So for me, the turning point was the day a farmer called me. And in Colorado Springs, they were not progressive 10, 12 years ago, 15 years ago. So a bunch of us chefs sat down with a bunch of farmers and said, okay, one side of the table can grow things, the other side of the table can cook things. Let's come up with an agreement. And the one chef goes, there's $5 million worth of purchasing power on this side of the table. What can we do for you guys, being the farmers? Farmers got all excited. It was a phenomenal relationship for several years out there I had with the farmers. And you work one-on-one with these farmers. They grow things for you. They're so excited, and it kind of revitalizes their farm. The day it really hit me was, I had two epiphanies on this. One farmer called me and said, Marcus, you saved my marriage. And I said, what are you talking about? And he goes, until I met you and the group of chefs, I thought my farm was a waste. My wife thought my farm was a waste, and she thought that I was a waste and nothing was ever going to happen here. And she kept telling me that I had to get a computer job again and had to go back to the real world. And he goes, for me, this is the real world farming. And she wanted me to move to Wisconsin and get a job again. And he goes, that's not what I wanted. But my wife was ready to leave me because of this. And he goes, now my wife sees what's happening on the farm. She knows it's a viable business. She knows what I'm doing was right. She goes, you saved my marriage. I said, wow, that's phenomenal. That's great. And then another good friend of mine, Jay Frost, whose brother, by the way, was the person who hung himself in Fast Food Nation. If you read the book Fast Food Nation, the one farmer hangs himself because there's no hope on the farm. Well, I got very friendly with his stepbrother, with his brother. What's up, Kevin? So he calls me one day and says, Marcus, a lot of things have happened here the last 2-3 years, as you know. I said, yes, as I know, a lot of things have happened on your farm. So then he says to me, he goes, I have 3 kids, and you know them. I said, I sure do. I see your kids all the time. I've been to your farm many times. He goes, for years it was get these kids off the farm, as far away as possible as the farm, get them to college, and don't have them return because there's nothing happening here, as his stepbrother thought and ended up hanging himself. But he was now working with the farmers. He goes, it has been amazing, I'm working with the chefs. He goes, there's hope on this farm. He goes, you know, I grow all your potatoes, I grow all your spinach. He goes, I do this for this restaurant, I do this for that restaurant, and my kids see this. And he goes, I just wish my stepbrother was around to see this. He goes, you actually inspire me to keep my kids on the farm. Yes, they have to get a college education, but they actually need to actually come back to this farm and understand it's a viable farm and there's lots of options here. And that was really like the turning point. I said, wow, you know, the customer's important, so important. But now who we're buying from is even just as important. You have to please these people too, and it's a whole cycle. Happy farmers, happy workers, happy producers, happy food, happy customers. And just recently, a story that just happened to me a couple months ago was a delivery driver comes in, delivers a guy I hadn't really seen before at this company, a regular company I do business with. And I'm looking through all the boxes and I'm looking through all the barcodes on the boxes. Because the barcodes can tell you where the products come from. You know, 960, 961, 962 is China. So I'm looking to avoid any Chinese products. And the guy looks at me and goes, what are you reading the barcodes for? He's an older African-American guy, probably in his 60s. And I said, I'm looking to make sure I'm not supporting Chinese products. He goes, really? I go, yes, it's very important to support American. You know, my feeling is, you know, politicians to cast a vote in Washington and to vote for a politician, you know, to me that's a waste. Really what needs to happen is we need to buy more American products and support our American economy. And I'm starting here at my restaurant. That's why we really serve American vodka, and that's why we really stress American craft beers. And he looks at me, he goes, wow. He goes, you just made my day. He goes, I had no idea that a chef could be that conscious. He goes, you just made my day. And I think he was a veteran too, and you know, he was like, wow, this is phenomenal. So what is a happy customer? Who is your customer, first of all? And how important is the whole circle of things in your business? So for me in my business, it's everybody. It's the sales reps, it's the producers, it's the farmers, it's the guy who brings the food into the door. You know, years ago I never got this, and you know, if the delivery wasn't on time, I'd be rude to the driver and say, you know, come back tomorrow because you're not here on time and this and that. You know, I had a delivery show up yesterday at 9:45, and I was happy to see the guy. I'm like, wow, are you okay? You know, everything all right? You know, I was getting worried. You're usually here much earlier. 9:45 at night, the guy came up, showed up. You know, if that was me 20 years ago, 15 years ago, I would have sent the guy back and said, I don't want the food. Come back tomorrow when it's, you know, between 9 and 12, my set time to take deliveries. So, happy customers. To me, everybody's my customer, and everybody behind the scenes is extremely important to giving that good vibe of the food all the way around. So, I'm Marcus Giuliano. I'm a chef on a mission, chefonamission.com. You can watch all my videos at marcusg.tv. Thanks for watching.